Interesting.
I think this started with the video Tom released titled "If YouTubers Were Honest."
I want to let him talk a little bit more, see if he says anything about it. But
isn't it? This is where this started, and it was obviously Tom's take on the one-sided Twitter beef between Dream and Quackity.
It's kind of important to talk about this specifically because it's just not true. It may be what Tommy told you, Tubbo. It may be what Tommy told you. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know the inner workings of your friendship. I don't know the inner workings of, I don't know, the whole Brighton crew's relationships with each other. I don't know. But Tubbo, this started actually with me sending a message to Tommy about him making pedophile jokes about me before my allegations came out, and how I didn't like that, and how it was not fair, and how I didn't feel like he was treating me like a friend. That's actually how it started. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show a message that I'm gonna show an interaction I had with Tommy prior to the allegations, which I also obviously we'll talk about more later, and also prior to the video that came out that Tommy made that I also obviously had a problem with. So first of all, here is our message. So I said, "Hey, are we even friends, dude?" to Tommy. He said, "Yeah, why? What's up, man?" ? Sad face. I said, "It just doesn't feel like it. I try and justify it by you being younger or by you just trying to fit in or taking a character too far or whatever, but that doesn't mean anything when it's just a repetitive pattern over and over. And I hold my tongue out of fear of coming across like an asshole because I like to think that I have a very thick skin, but I just feel like shit because of it. I feel like you are you are being a dick to me on accident, and it's just happened far too many times for me to think that it's quote unquote on accident. And it just makes me think that there's a lot more to it." Now, this actually was in response to Tommy making a joke. Basically, there's a React channel called React. I'm sure a lot of you know about them. They made a React video to Dream Manhunt. And there was a bunch of reactors in it that did reactions. And I had DM'd pretty much every reactor that was in the video saying, "Hey, thanks for reacting to my video. That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Whatever." And Tommy, in reaction to that, a secondary video that they did where someone said that, and they happened to be a girl, he made, I don't remember what the exact comment was. I'm sure that people after this will find the clip, but he made a comment saying essentially, "Oh, of course, what a nonce. Like, of course Dream's going to do that. Like, oh, wait, was she a kid? Like, of course." And that type of thing was something that I had talked to Tommy about before, and that Tommy had actually done again and again and again and again. This is all prior to, obviously, the allegations came out later. And I expressed to Tommy in private that, "Hey, you're perpetuating this image that I am a creep, that I'm somehow creepy for, DMing a reactor saying, 'Hey, thanks for the reaction.' And I don't like that. And that can make me a target to people to give false allegations," which, guess what? Ended up happening. And I'm not saying that it's 100% Tommy's fault. It's not. That'd be ridiculous to insinuate, but it is something that obviously was very frustrating. And I sent him obviously the rest of this message, which I don't have all the rest of it to show, but I'm going to go ahead and read it out. And I can show it later. So I said, you've done it too much, and things feel like there's a lot more to it. "I feel like you have such a dream of what you want your fan base to be, and part of that means shitting on me constantly to cater to the people that despise me just for existing. And that hurts because I know that I wouldn't do that to one of my friends. I don't care about mean jokes or poking fun or whatever, especially due to your character. Literally everyone I know does that to each other, and I don't feel bad when it comes to anyone else. I've always been nothing but extremely positive about you publicly and privately, and you're one of the few people I even talk to at all, even if we don't talk all the time. I just don't talk to that many people. You say all the right things in private, and it always makes me feel good, and I forget about my feelings for a few days, but then it's like I don't even exist as your friend outside of in private. I can't even express how it feels without feeling stupid, because it's not one thing, it's just a collection of everything. I feel stupid even saying this because you can just come back and apologize like you have many times, and I'm supposed to believe it despite the minimal difference in the past. People are getting false grooming allegations left and right, and I ask you not to make jokes like that, and you go on in a few days later and make another one putting a target on my back. And it's not even really just that, it's the fact that I know that if that was Wilbur that DM'd that reactor, or Tubbo, or one of your other friends, or even just another YouTuber that it wasn't cool to hate on, you probably would have reacted positively and said that it was sweet of them or something. But it's me, so it's a creepy joke instead of just being positive towards me other than the 2 days after I say something like this. I don't know, just really upset. It's frustrating, just feeling disrespected and used. I don't know exactly how I feel, just not good. I feel like I've done so much for you and always treated you with respect and appreciation, and I just feel like you don't feel the same way, even if you say you do to me. I'll probably regret saying this tomorrow, but it's how I feel, so take it as you will. I'm going to go try and sleep. Again, I'm not going to read into more of our private messages, but I do think that it's important because this is a private thing that happened that is not public. And so people, when they try and form their opinion or form, an understanding of the timeline of when things happened, they say things publicly and they go, "Oh, so it was when Tommy made the video." No, this happened prior to that. So obviously you can things build up and things happen in certain ways, and you're never going to fully understand somebody's mindset until they, unless even when they do show everything or share everything, because you can't understand why, every interaction they've ever had with the person. But I do think it's important to note that obviously I had a very shaky relationship with Tommy because of the way that he treated me publicly. I was not happy with it. I tried expressing it privately many times, and it was frustrating, obviously. Now I want to continue with what Tubbo was saying to try and see if what he says right after this. I have more to say, but I want to see if he says anything that leads directly into it. And I do think, just to say as well, because I think there will be a lot of people on Twitter and elsewhere that critique me for sharing private messages. First of all, that was my private message. It was not Tommy's. That was my own private message. Yes, Tommy replied to me saying why or whatever when I asked. That's it. That's all I showed. I showed a couple words. That's it. I don't plan on showing any of Tommy's messages because he has asked me privately before not to, but I feel like that was extremely important to show. And then for the last year and a half, there have been people like Jack, Tommy, Harry, others that have been taking jabs, bullying me, attacking me, and spreading lies about me. And that's been happening over the last year and a half. So obviously that's it. This people saying Dream started this. It's like ridiculous. Like I yes, in this instance, I was not technically involved. Obviously my name was mentioned, but I was not technically involved. But I did not, this was not people saying like Tommy lives rent free in my head. Like, no, that's not, he's been jabbing at me in videos, podcasts, on every platform essentially for the last year and a half. I've never done anything. I've actually been even privately been kind to, Tommy hit 50 million. I sent him a text saying, hey man, congratulations. I remember when I hit 50 million, it was great. I think that's my last DM or any private interaction with Tommy. And obviously we were not friends at that point, but it was just me trying to be friendly.